Asteroids, sometimes called minor planet, or planetoids, are rocky, airless remnants left over from the early formation of our solar system. Most of this ancient space rubble can be found orbiting the Sun between Mars and Jupiter within the main asteroid belt. There are millions of asteroids, ranging in size, from hundreds of miles in diameter, to bodies that are approximately 6 feet, 2 meters, across. The total mass of all the asteroids combined is less than that of Earth's moon. Asteroids are sources of raw materials that are becoming more costly to obtain from the interior of the Earth. The possibilities of extracting those materials has become a topic of significant interest. Despite their size, asteroids can be dangerous. Many have hit Earth in the past, and more will crash into our planet in the future. That's one reason why scientists study asteroids. Asteroids are leftovers from the formation of our solar system about 4.6 billion years ago. Early on, the birth of Jupiter prevented any planetary bodies from forming in the gap between Mars and Jupiter, causing the small objects that were there to collide with each other and fragment into the asteroids seen today. Understanding of how the solar system evolved is constantly expanding. Two fairly recent theories, the Nice model and the Grand Tack, suggest that the gas giants moved around before settling into their modern orbits. This movement could have sent asteroids from the main belt raining down on the terrestrial planets, emptying and refilling the original belt. In 1801, while making a star map, Italian priest and astronomer Giuseppe Piazzi accidentally discovered the first and largest asteroid, Ceres, orbiting between Mars and Jupiter. Although Ceres is classified today as a dwarf planet, it accounts for a quarter of all the mass of all the known asteroids in or near the main asteroid belt. Over the first half of the 19th century, several asteroids were discovered and classified as planets. William Herschel coined the phrase asteroid in 1802, but other scientists referred to the objects as minor planets. By 1851, there were 15 new asteroids, and the naming process shifted to include numbers, while Ceres shares dual designation as both an asteroid and a dwarf planet, while the rest remain asteroids. Since the International Astronomical Union is less strict on how asteroids are named when compared to other bodies, there are asteroids named after Mr. Spock of Star Trek, and rock musician Frank Zappa, as well as more solemn tributes, such as the 7 asteroids named for the crew of the Space Shuttle Columbia killed in 2003. Naming asteroids after pets is no longer allowed. Asteroids are also given numbers, for example, 99,942 Apophis. Nearly all asteroids are irregularly shaped, although a few of the largest are nearly spherical, such as Ceres. They are often pitted or cratered. For instance, Vesta has a giant crater around 285 miles, 460 kilometers, in diameter. The surfaces of most asteroids are thought to be covered in dust. As asteroids revolve around the Sun in elliptical orbits, they rotate, sometimes tumbling quite erratically. More than 150 asteroids are also known to have a small companion moon, with some having 2 moons. Binary or double asteroids also exist, in which 2 asteroids of roughly equal size orbit each other, and triple asteroid systems are known as well. Many asteroids seemingly have been captured by a planet's gravity and become moons. The average temperature of the surface of a typical asteroid is -100 degrees Fahrenheit, -73 degrees Celsius. Asteroids come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Some are solid bodies, while others are smaller piles of rubble bound together by gravity. Asteroids are classified according their orbit in the solar system into regions. Main asteroid belt, which lie between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. This main asteroid belt holds more than 200 asteroids larger than 60 miles, 100 kilometers, in diameter. Scientists estimate the asteroid belt also contains between 1.1 million and 1.9 million asteroids larger than 1 kilometer, 3,281 feet, in diameter, and millions of smaller ones, Trojans. They are many asteroids lie outside the main belt. Orbit a larger planet in two special places. Jupiter Trojans are the most numerous. Near-Earth asteroids, NEAs, are circle closer to Earth than the Sun. Amur asteroids have close orbits that approach but not cross Earth's path, according to NASA. Apollo asteroids have Earth-crossing orbits but spend most of their time outside the planet's path. Aten asteroids also cross Earth's orbit but spend most of their time inside Earth's orbit. Asteroid asteroids are near-Earth asteroids whose orbits are contained within Earth's orbit. According to the European Space Agency, roughly 10,000 of the known asteroids are NEAs. In addition to classifications of asteroids based on their orbits, most asteroids fall into three classes based on composition. The C-type, or carbonaceous asteroids, are grayish in color and are the most common, including more than 75% of known asteroids. The S-type, or silicaceous asteroids, are greenish to reddish in color, account for about 17% of known asteroids, and dominate the inner asteroid belt. The M-type, or metallic asteroids, are reddish in color, make up most of the rest of the asteroids. They seem to be made up of nickel iron. There are many other rare types based on composition as well, for instance, V-type asteroids, like Vesta, which is a volcanic basaltic crust. Since Earth formed about 4.5 billion years ago, asteroids and comets have routinely slammed into the planet. The most dangerous asteroids are extremely rare. An asteroid capable of global disaster would have to be more than a quarter-mile wide. Researchers have estimated that such an impact would raise enough dust into the atmosphere to effectively create a nuclear winter, severely disrupting agriculture around the world. Asteroids that large strike Earth only once every 1,000 centuries on average. Smaller asteroids that are believed to strike Earth every 1,000 to 10,000 years could destroy a city or cause devastating tsunamis. On February 15, 2013, an asteroid slammed into the atmosphere over the Russian city of Chelyabinsk, creating a shockwave that injured 1,200 people. The space rock is thought to have measured about 65 feet, 20 meters wide, when it entered Earth's atmosphere. When an asteroid, or a part of it, debris, crashes into Earth and burns in the atmosphere, it's called a meteorite. Dozens of asteroids have been classified as potentially hazardous by the scientists who track them. Scientists point out that if an asteroid is found to be on a collision course with Earth 30 or 40 years down the road, there is time to react. Possibilities include exploding the object or diverting it. When asteroids do close flybys of Earth, one of the most effective ways to observe them is by using radar, such as the system at NASA's Goldstone Deep Space Communications Complex in California. In the unlikely event that the asteroid is deemed a threat, NASA has a Planetary Defense Coordination Office, PDCO, that has scenarios for diffusing the situation. The agency has two technologies at the least that could be used: a kinetic impactor, meaning a spacecraft that slams into the asteroid to move its orbit, or a gravity tractor, meaning a spacecraft that remains near an asteroid for a long period of time, using its own gravity to gradually alter the asteroid's path. PDCO would also consult with the White House and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and likely other space agencies, to determine what to do. However, there is no known asteroid, or comet, threat to Earth, and NASA carefully tracks all known objects through a network of partner telescopes. However, asteroids exploration efforts are continuing to encounter asteroids up close. This is done via robotic spacecraft, and NASA Hubble Space Telescope and ground-based radar observations. The first spacecraft to take close-up images of asteroids was NASA's Galileo in 1991, which also discovered the first moon to orbit an asteroid in 1994. In 2001, after NASA's NEAR spacecraft intensely studied the near-Earth asteroid Eros for more than a year from orbit, mission controllers decided to try land the spacecraft. Although it wasn't designed for landing, NEAR successfully touched down, setting the record as the first to successfully land on an asteroid. In 2006, Japan's Hayabusa became the first spacecraft to land on and take off from an asteroid. It returned to Earth in June 2010, and the samples it recovered are currently under study. NASA's Dawn mission, launched in 2007, began exploring Vesta in 2011. After a year, it left the asteroid for a trip to Ceres, arriving in 2015. Dawn was the first spacecraft to visit Vesta and Ceres. As of 2017, the spacecraft still orbits the extraordinary asteroid. In January 2017, NASA selected two projects, Lucy and Psyche, via its Discovery program. Planned to launch in this month, October 2021, Lucy will visit an object in the asteroid belt before going on to study 6 Trojan asteroids. She will travel to 16 Psyche, an enormous metallic asteroid that may be the core of an ancient Mars-sized planet, stripped of its crust through violent collisions. According to CNEOS, NASA's Center for Computing Asteroid and Comet Orbits, it has been estimated that the mineral wealth resident in the belt of asteroids between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter would be equivalent to about $100 billion for every person on Earth today.